Hey guys, and welcome to my brand new channel I just created for my Japanese language journey. In today's video, I'm going to be going over an overview of what I'm going to be doing on this channel, a quick summary, little background of what I've been doing up until this moment, what I'll be doing for the future for my Japanese studies, and then also the goals I have in the future for what I want to achieve and all that stuff. Let's get right into it. So, for the first thing, I want to talk about what is my purpose for this channel. So basically, my purpose for the channel is to basically, for myself and for the viewers too, basically kind of an accountability every single day, making a vlog, like a diary type video of just the time, like tracking the time I did each day, tracking like like what materials I did, like what I watched, read, all that stuff, just like in one little daily video, and maybe some commentary too over the video, just some little comments I like would want to say, or maybe if I don't have anything to say, I'll just not say anything. I'm not sure. I'm still pretty early into this deciding stage, and I guess these videos will evolve over time while I keep making them. So yeah, just basically, yeah, just I want to basically achieve the goals that I know I can achieve by making this video, or how can I put it? Like, basically, up until this point, I don't think I've been like reaching my max potential when it comes to this. I've been a little bit lazy, I have to admit. Some days I don't do all that stuff that I need to do, or don't put as much time as I need to put in this stuff. So I want to create these videos to get back on track and make sure, and also if people are in the same boat as me, I want them to be able to use these videos to help them with their journey, maybe as something of like what to do if they're lost when they need to study, or maybe just having an accountability partner or something, anything like that. Just, I hope I can influence myself and you guys with these videos. But yeah, so we got the summary of the videos, of the daily videos I'm gonna make. Now, hmm, let's talk about what I've been, like a little background of what I've been doing up until this point. So I would say the best way to track this is with Anki. And then here we go. So basically, I started in 2022. And the reason I started studying Japanese was because I wanted to learn a second language, and I wanted a good, challenging, hard language. And it has been challenging so far up until this point. But I was trying to decide between Japanese, Chinese, and Korean because I know those were pretty hard for English speakers. And I ended up picking Japanese because at the time, I think I just actually not. I think like a year before that, I finished this show called One Piece, as you guys probably know of, like that long pirate show, which is pretty good, and I recommend watching it. It's my favorite show. But I loved One Piece, and then of course that was Japanese, so I was like, I guess I'll pick Japanese because I just like the One Piece. I mean, I like other anime, but One Piece just my main thing, I would say. But yeah, so I got started, I think the date, I remember the exact date. It was oh shoot, it was the 4th. It was the 4th of January. I remember this day. And basically this whole year, basically the whole 2022 year, like I like basically started, like I said I was going to start learning language, but like I didn't do anything at all except this. I didn't even, like I'd maybe watch like a video every couple months. I don't even know. I can't remember that far back because it was just basically no routine, nothing. And then we can cut to 2023, and then this is when I started to do a little bit more. I can't fully remember exactly what I did, but I know I did like I don't know if I did this one specifically, but I know I did like a core deck or whatever, and then basically got until here, and then in summertime, I really only did this just to keep the streak. That's why it's like only one card. But until like this point, that's when I started doing the N5 Tongo deck that I saw online from probably some YouTube video. It's because at this time, my friend that's also studying Japanese, he basically was doing the JLPT, and I was like, huh, I'm studying, not basically not studying Japanese, but like studying kind of. And I was like, huh, maybe I should try that. And then I knew like after doing, like I did it here and then did, like I basically finished the deck here. But I knew at the signing up time, I was like, huh, I have like a couple months. I could definitely do N4. So I I knew I could pass N5, but I was like, let me test the waters and do N4 and see if I can pass. And then if we go over here to my results, this from the 2023 test, I passed by 1 point. I passed by 1 point for the N4 test, which I'm honestly relieved I passed because, like, if I failed, that would have sucked. But I would say I deserved the score from the amount of inconsistent studying I did for basically like 2 years. Basically, like, no studying at all, I would say. No, like, immersion, as you guys know, the immersion language process, and then barely any Anki. So, and I didn't read any textbooks. I basically didn't. I don't know what I was doing, but I did enough to get this level, and then I would say if we go back once I got to 2024, I basically was locked in but not locked in. I remember my New Year's resolution was to become consistent with Japanese, and I started this whole area right here consistently and then fell off a little bit. And then basically the summertime was starting, and I was like, okay, I have to fully lock in, which I didn't fully lock in, but I locked in a little bit. And then basically at this time, I was basically, I think that's when I like really started doing immersion at that time. As you guys know the immersion process, I hope. And I basically was doing basically all the same thing what I'm doing right now. I started sentence mining. I started this deck again, but like I already knew like the first 500, 1,000 words, so I had to like basically spend a month like catching up. And then I finished the N5, but I never finished N4. But even though I passed it, I was like, might as well, so I don't miss any words. And then I started N3 deck throughout this whole period. And then basically throughout this whole period, I only did these these decks right here, just the JLPT vocab, and then my sentence mining, and then my core deck, which is a lot of the words I got, like I know, was from this deck because yeah. But yeah, and I started consistent. And then I took N3 here, and then I passed with a 120 out of 180, which I'm pretty happy with that score for the amount of like work I put in. I probably could have, I don't know, I probably could have done better if I like maybe read a little bit more or like maybe do a little bit more listening, but with everything I did, I'll gladly take 120 out of 180. I think that's plenty and good enough for me, honestly. But yeah, and then during this time, I'm starting to get like a what's it called? Like inconsistent again. It's because right after I did the test and I became like relieved, I guess. I don't know. And then where this like blank spots are, that's when I went to Japan. And then my experience in Japan with like Japanese, like the trip was really good. But with like the actual language, I would say I could understand like 75% of what they were saying, like 80% most of the time. And then like the stuff like you would hear all like repeatedly like over and over again, like 100% like understood everything. And then I could respond back in like basic like a way just to get my point across. So I'm not like at where I want to be, where I can have like good conversations like I do in English, but I was able to get by, which I'm happy for my level and everything, my first time being there. And then after I came back and then basically have been, I would say, been consistent with Anki with my immersion. I need to step on it again. I've been trying to get into novels. As you could see, my reading was low, so I'm trying to get into novels, and I heard that's the best way to like increase your reading plus your vocab a lot. So I'm gonna be trying to be consistent with that, and then my listening, I've been doing only subtitles for like everything I watch, so I'm not really like, honestly it's been like a crutch, so I haven't really been doing like full peer listening, so I want to get into that with no subtitles anymore. And then if I need a subtitle to like see if I missed a word or a word I don't know, I'll like turn it on, but for the most part no subtitles. Reading books, and then here just doing Anki with like the the JLPT vocab, and then my sentence mining from my uh, the novels I'll read or the stuff I'll watch, and then finish this deck, just like the 6K deck. But yeah, that's up until then. That's up until now. And then for the future for my studies, I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing because I've seen good results from other like YouTubers or people online that did the HAT method, as you guys probably know, with just sentence mining and then watching a bunch of shows and reading a bunch of books. So I'll just be doing that. And then if you guys have any like suggestions on maybe something I should change up or keep add or stop doing, whatever, just let me know, because any constructive criticism I deeply appreciate it. But yeah, that's what I've done until this moment. And then basically, um, my goals for the future is I passed N3 last year, and then this year I want to take N2, and then in 2026 I want to take N1. And I think it's definitely, if I keep consistent with my like Anki, like finish all like the JLPT vocab decks, keep sentence mining and finish this deck, I'll definitely be good enough, I think. And then I was thinking maybe doing grammar studies with these like decks and stuff, but I'll have to see what happens with that. And if you guys have any like suggestions for studying or any like grammar decks, because I probably won't do any like textbooks, just like the Anki decks, because I don't really mess with grammar that much, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I want to pass JLPT um, in a 1.5 years or 2 years, whatever. Yeah. So I hope these videos will, I keep continuing these videos and keep up consistency with my studies. And then the final goal is for my major in college, I have to do a study abroad. And then the way like the study abroad requirements work, and since I'm like transferring and all that stuff, it's like basically delaying it until like my senior year or whatever. So that's like 2 years from now. It'd be like exactly like 2 years from now if I get accepted and go to Japan. I'll be like in Japan right now, about to start the school semester, just because of how like weird the dates start compared to American, like the school terms. But yeah, but basically, I would say the goal is to get N1 in like next year, technically. But I guess the main goal is to be ready for that study abroad program. And I think with making these videos every day and keeping consistent with my immersion and sentence mining, I think I'll get there. But yeah, that's it for this introduction video. I hope I was able to say anything, and if not, I'll say it in the other videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming videos, and yeah, stay tuned for more.